Substance, 4-AcO-DMT and ketamine. Route of administration, IM, IV, insulfated. Person, 25/M/ United Kingdom, height, 5'9", 175 centimeters, weight, 10 stone, 63.5 kilograms, 140 pounds. Setting, my bedroom, 0 o'clock to 7 o'clock, dad at home but in bed, and a note has been left to inform him I'm tripping. Mindset, excited. I haven't tripped in a few months and I've been looking forward to trying this combo properly for about a year. I've finally sourced both things, and managed to save enough AcO without doing it all by itself. I've also been waiting till I've had enough time off work to fully recover and enjoy the trip. Pre-trip. It's 23:30 and I've just returned from doing a 2,000 hours to 2,300 hours shift for a charity I volunteer for. Ideally I'd have started the trip earlier in the night, but I have the next 2 days off work, so I know I'll have long enough to recover without too much worry. If I wait till tomorrow night I won't have a full 2 days to recover, which I know I will need. Tonight is the night. I prepare a primary IM shot of 12 to 15 mg 4-AcO-DMT, a IM shot of 180 mg of ketamine for a hopeful K-hole midway through the trip, and an IV shot of 5 to 8 mg of 4-AcO-DMT and 20 mg of ketamine to get me where I want to be, if the primary 4-AcO shot doesn't get me there. I'm experienced with various psychedelics and dissociatives taken through various routes of administrations, such as 4-AcO-DMT, snorted, eaten, IM'd, once before, and IV'd, once before, ketamine, snorted and IM'd various times, IV'd once, 3-MeO-PCP, snorted, eaten, IM'd, 4-MeO-PCP, eaten, methamphetamine, sublingual, snorted, IM'd, salvia and various other tryptamines and phenphylamines, only a few times with each. I've had various experiences, some good, some challenging, some life-changing, some mediocre, but never have I come into contact with any other entities, apart from once on smoked DMT where I didn't really communicate with them much, and they just seemed like clown faces in part of a machine. I was totally aware I was just tripping during this experience though. I'm also experienced with stimulants and the hallucinations/psychosis which can occur with these. I enjoy hallucinogens, but what's put me off stronger trips is the amount of dissociation and surrealness that comes with them, which I find hard to incorporate in any meaningful way to my day-to-day live. I trip for personal development rather than to visit other worlds, and I feel people are easily caught up in trying to explain this kind of dissociation and these other realities rather than seeing them as a learning experience to develop the self. Anyway, that's enough blabbing, and here is my account of conversing with what I can only describe, as McKenna puts it, the machine elves. I can't remember the exact order of events, and there are some totally blank patches in my memory, but I'll try to put the experience together as coherently as possible. D+0. I have the shots prepared, and have a bit of ketamine left over to snort as I start coming back to reality. Perfect. I've tried IM 4-AcO-DMT at about 20 mg before, and it was a strong trip, but nothing like what I'm about to witness. I put the drug/prepared shots into my bedside drawer and moved my laptop from my desk to beside my bed. I then inject the first 12 to 14 mg shot into my right thigh. I sit on the floor and tap the side of my Tibetan singing bowl to start to meditate a bit as I come up. D+5 minutes. It comes on faster than I remember and I start to cough a bit. I think I might be sick, but the nausea fades within 5 minutes. I'm at A++ within minutes, so I lay in my bed and put a favorite tripping album of mine on Arion, Into the Electric Castle with the visualization on Winamp playing. D+30 minutes. I'm at A+ in about 30 minutes. I listen to the first few tracks of the album and then decide to do the 5 to 8 mg/20 mg 4-AcO-DMT and ketamine IV shot. Why let it go to waste? I think it's easier to hit a vein than I thought it'd be when tripping this hard, and I register without trouble. I've tried both substances IV'd on their own before, but I haven't enjoyed the experience. It seems to be over before it's truly began. But this time it's different. I turn off the music. D+32 minutes. I'm catapulted into an alternate dimension. Plus, am I in another universe or a parallel dimension? With my eyes closed, I'm in a room filled with beings. They all seem to be part of a machine made from colorful patterns. They all gather round me, seeming shocked. Later on, it doesn't really matter whether my eyes are closed or open. D+40 minutes to 3 hours. They seem shocked and I apologize if I've barged in on something. I didn't intend to. They inform me that it's okay, they're just as surprised to see me as I am to see them. Can this really be real? I've listened to McKenna speak about machine elves in his talks, and even though I experienced them, albeit less intensely, on DMT before. But by and large I took them to be a product of McKenna's overactive imagination in combination with high doses of mushrooms and DMT. But here I am, in their world, conversing with them. I spend the next few hours asking them questions and agreeing with them at how interesting it is. Me, are you the machine elves McKenna talks about? They seem bemused. Them, what are elves? They ask. Me, I explain they are magic beings which are part of human folklore in different cultures. They all laugh. They like the idea of being seen as magical entities. It seems like they think it's ridiculous but are happy to have the association. I also explain to them the machine part and explain that to us it seems as though they're made of some complex machinery. I can hear beeps and blops kind of like RT2D as their colorful surface/skin moves in different directions, and there's also the noise of how you imagine a robot/car factory machine moves its arms or legs VVVT, VVVT, VVVT. When I speak aloud my voice and the noises I make kind of echo slightly around their room, different acoustics to how my bedroom is. What do you call yourselves in your own language? They make a complex noise incorporating the noises I explained earlier. I can't remember or repeat it. They ask my name and I tell them speaking in English. It doesn't seem to matter which way I talk to them. I communicate with them via thought for the questions and also kind of speaking in tongues and bleeps and blops when talking small talk. They put food in my mouth and I take drinks from them. I can't taste anything but I can feel it in my mouth. I thank them using the small talk language. I put my arm out to see if I can touch them and they hold my hand. Some are made from long complex tentacles, others look different but I can't remember their features. I turn round and there are more behind me. They jump back startled when I turn to face them but then come in closer to look at me. Me, do many humans end up here, or any other beings for that matter? They say they've heard of it but they've never witnessed it. We talk about whether they're in another universe entirely or if they're overlapping our reality, and come to the conclusion there must be some kind of overlap. I apologize again for barging in, but they reassure me it's okay. It's an interesting experience all around and they're glad I'm there, even if it was a shock at first. I think back to a previous trip where I experienced an ego death/unitive experience. I asked them if they understand the concept of oneness. And if so, how can they exist if everything is one? They tell me that the concept seems plausible, but asking how they can exist is like them asking how humans can exist. Even if oneness is a reality, it doesn't mean different life forms couldn't develop separately. I'm surprised they aren't some kind of wholly enlightened race or something, though maybe I was naive to think that in the first place. I tell them how humans evolved on Earth as best I can with my limited scientific knowledge and tell them we're carbon-based life forms made of organic matter. I ask when how they came to be, or what they're made of, but they don't seem to understand. It's as though they've been this way for as long as they can remember. D+4 hours. After conversing for a few hours and being fed and watered by them, I tell them how I ended up here, via the drug, and ask if there is more to their world outside of this room I've found myself in. They tell me there is, but they don't know how they could show me. It seems as though I must be some kind of apparition to them, not fully solid in their world, and unable to move around properly. I explain it'd be great to come and visit again, perhaps being able to bring a friend, and they tell me that I'm welcome. I ask if I'll end up back with them or in some other part of their world, or a different place altogether, and they say they don't know. I then remember the ketamine shot and ask them if it'd be okay to do it now, or if that'd be disrespectful. Will you be here when I get back? Or perhaps you'll be able to come with me? They say they're not sure again, but they'd like to come with me if possible because it'd be another new experience for them. I agree and take the shot from my draw. D+5 hours. I come round about an hour or two later and don't remember anything of the K-hole. The beings are gone but I'm still tripping from the 4-AcO-DMT slightly. I snorted some more ketamine and try to put Arion back and figure it out for a minute, but then mess it up trying to find the visualization. I quit after a few minutes and just lay back contemplating what just happened. D+5 hours and 30 minutes. I see that I have about 100 milligrams of ketamine left in the baggie, so squirt some water in and prepare a final IM shot of ketamine. I put on a sci-fi ASMR video, a new addition to my coming down from tripping kit, and get sucked into a nice immersive story. It's called something like Transpersonal Healing Clinic and sounds like exactly what I need. D+7 hours. It was the perfect way to end the most intense trip of my life. Afterwards I snort some midazolam powder and sleep until 6 p.m. the next day. The next day I feel like I could eat a horse and devour dinner, and ice cream and some cereal bars. My dad can tell I'm still a bit spaced out, but he doesn't ask questions. I've explained to him the reason I trip a few months previously and told him how much it's helped me in the past. We agreed it's okay to trip in the house as long as I'm careful. I then go back to bed and sleep until 12:30 the next day. I feel psychically rejuvenated, but mentally I'm still coming to terms with what happened. Could I have really visited another world, or were the beings just a projection of how I would perceive the machine elves to be? After all, why did I seem to be the only one asking questions? But if that's the case, why have others reported such similar experiences? It was an interesting trip, but I don't think I'll try to repeat it anytime soon. It would be easy to get preoccupied with trying to explain the other worlds instead of developing your inner self, which I said before is the main aim of why I trip. I've read about Hindu cities, in which sadhus report psychic abilities but are told to ignore them, as they are just a distraction from recognizing the ultimate reality, oneness. Perhaps visiting these other worlds is one such city. I hope to visit them again one day, perhaps with another person as an observer. But for now I will stick to lower dose trips and other non-drug-induced psychotic experiences. I know this all seems a bit crazy, but I also know there are people out there who know exactly what I'm talking about or have had very similar experiences. Take from it what you will.